Next thing we'll do is now we're going to get into the how many tiles we need. So you have this area here and you're looking at it and going, well, how many tiles do I need? It's actually a very, very simple process. You just measure from one end of the room to the other. You take measure. So in this case we have down here, that's 8.5 feet times the width, and use the widest point of the room by 6 feet. So 8.5 feet times 6 feet, you have 51 square feet. So the area of floor is 51 square feet. Now you have a sink that we talked about before leaving in. So you want to subtract this sink because you're obviously not going to be tiling in it. You just want to do the exact same thing you did with the floor. You measure the length, which is 3 feet, times the width, which is 1.5 feet. So that equals to 4.5 square feet. Your total, you would take your full area, 51 square feet, subtract it from what you're not tiling, which is the 4.5 square feet, and so you got 46.5 square feet. I like to just round numbers up because I'd rather have too many tiles than not enough. It's way easier just to set it aside in case you need it for a future than have to go back and maybe you might not even be able to find your same tile again, so just always buy extra. So we'll say 47 square feet. Now what I always do is I add 10% onto that for cutoffs, for mess ups, and believe it or not, yes, I do mess up, and I'm sure you will end up too. Just learning curve is part of it, and part of tiling. Things crack, there's hairline cracks in some of them, you buy them, and the middle one's broken, so I just automatically add 10% to it. So in our case, 10% of 47, well, we would say 4.7, so we'd say 5 tiles. So we'd add 5 tile to that number, and in total, we'd have 52 square feet of tile that we need. Now we talked about doing a tile baseboard along the outside. So then what you need to do is you need to figure out how much tile do I need for that. Now generally, you take one tile and split it up into 3 ways. Because usually each baseboard is around 4 inches, somewhere around there. So if you have a 12 by 12 tile or a 13 by 13 tile, then you're at somewhere around 4 inches, 4 and a bit, and it makes it really easy. You would just, we'll talk about that in a later session, but you would just break it into 3 parts, and then you could do 3 sections of tiles. So you want to measure the outside, all the outside space that's going to be able to take, and anything along the wall that's going to be able to take your baseboard. Now you won't do the baseboard underneath the sink. I've never seen that done, and I wouldn't recommend it. I actually worked it out beforehand so that you wouldn't have to wait for me to go all along. And the total was 18 linear feet. Now I'm talking about linear feet because it's not like a floor where it's the whole area. It's just across. So from one end to the other end is what we call linear feet. And that's what I'm talking about with the walls and the baseboards. And it's 18 linear feet, which is somewhere around, if you take the 18 divided by 3, because you're cutting each tile into 3, is 5 tiles. It's actually 6 tiles. So then I like to add, say, 2 more tiles to that for breakage, for any problems. So we'll have 8 tiles on top of our 52 square feet. So in the case of our 12 by 12 tiles, it's 52 tiles, real simple. And then we'd add 8 more, which would equal 60. Now if you have 13-inch tiles or you have oblong, you'll have to get into more math. And that's, once again, you can just go back to your home building center. They'll be happy to help you out. And if you tell them you're going to do tile baseboards, then you can work on what height you want and that kind of thing. It'll change your numbers. So that's it for your room measurement. Now you'll want to go out and buy your tile. And before we talked about the different types of tile, the tile style as we called it, and so hopefully by now you've figured out what kind of tile you wanted. Maybe you've even gone and bought it. Maybe you knew all this already. If you have, then great, you're set to go. If not, you want to figure out what color of walls you're going to have, what your decor is like. So just depending on all those things will depend on what kind of tiles you want to buy. For this video, we're going to be using ceramic tile. It's the easiest and generally the cheapest tile, and it works great on a concrete floor. You don't need the fancy stuff. It really comes out great, and it'll be plenty solid enough.